Everyone loves to make stealth archers in Oblivion, Skyrim, the Elder Scrolls games, but also, how can we forget about the Paladin? The Paladin is one of my favorite classes in every single RPG that I play, and specifically in Oblivion is very powerful thanks to the enchantments, the spells that we're going to be using, the character on itself, and all of the world that is going to be reacting to you. It's going to be, this is something that I love about this build that I have right here, because it's very roleplay value friendly. Like, you can roleplay as a paladin and you can change the name of the spells that you're going to be using, and more often than not, the cool thing about a paladin is that the paladin is going to be able to do every single thing that he wants to. He's going to cover every single little thing available to you in the game, and on top of that, you're going to have a very powerful knight that's going to be able to cast a huge array of spells, deadly spells as well for that matter. So let's just go right into it. We'll go into the character creation and how am I going to be able to set up the best paladin. Have in mind that if you want to build this paladin for yourself as well, it's something that you can do with your pre-established character. These are just recommendations that are going to help on the early stages of the game, and yeah. Now, the race is not going to matter that much. It does. Like, there's a couple of races that are going to give you amazing things that are going to be cool for the paladin, but at the end of the day, my paladin, the one that I chose, it's a north, and it has like frost resistance, and it has a decent start of the game as a base warrior that can later on spec into a paladin. A red god is also a nice choice for that. Roleplay value is not that amazing for an orc, but we're also going to be using craftsmanship with our paladin, so there's that. A very good option for paladins are the high elves, but I mean, fuck high elves, like, who likes these guys? So the ideal choice, the most powerful choice for a paladin would naturally be a Breton, so that's something that you need to have in mind. But then again, remember, the race is going to be mostly up to what is it that you personally like on appearances and what have you. If I had to choose one better choice for a paladin, depending on the situation that you're going to go through, is going to be either the Breton, if you want to start using magic, or North and Red God if you want to start your paladin as a warrior. The Birthsign. A lot of these guys are just going to alter how is it that your character is going to be on the beginning of the game. I'm planning on making a ranking for the Birthsigns, and I believe that actually the number one, the top tier of the Birthsigns, would be the warrior. And this is useful not only for a warrior or a paladin. This is something, especially if you're not playing on PC and you do not have access to mods, you will know and learn to understand that strength, it's a must on every single character because of the carrying weight capacity and because of the absurd amount that things weight on this world. So if you want to be looting powerful things so that later on you can sell them, you are necessarily going to be needing tons and tons of strength. Thankfully enough, the main purpose of our character right in here is going to be the main stats that we're going to be having with our character is going to be endurance and strength. So this is the ideal choice for your Birthsign. And then we're going to create our custom class, which is going to be called a Paladin. You're going to choose the specialization in combat. The specializations are going to receive bonus from here. The attributes that we are going to receive, this is going to be a +5 bonus into the attributes. This is also going to be dependent on how you want to start the game with your paladin. You want to start with destruction and restoration, which is something very powerful to do, because at the end of the day, most of the power that we're going to be getting for this paladin is going to be coming from enchanting weapons and the spells. So if you want to start maxing out intelligence and willpower, that's something that you can do. I personally, for my playthrough, decided to begin as a full-on warrior that then spec'd into the magic portion of everything. So I wanted to improve my strength and endurance first, and then intelligence and willpower second. And these are going to be the stats that we're going to be leveling up as we level up a character. Now, for the skills that we're going to be using, it's going to be armor. Remember that this guy is very, very easy to level up, so you're going to be leveling up like a maniac in no time. Athletics is also one skill that allows you to level up like a maniac because it's a passive skill and it really gets to high levels real fast just because you're moving throughout the world. And thanks to the amazing leveling system that we have now that is not hideous, we do not care if we're leveling up fast or not because we can choose which stats are we going to level up. On Blade and Blunt, this is going to be up to your personal preference. Do you like maces or do you like bladed weapons? I personally like swords, so that's why I'm leveling up this right in here. I do not block that much. I like to just be spamming attacks in here, so there's that. So armor, athletics, blade, and heavy armor because we're going to be using heavy armor. And then in here, we're going to have destruction and restoration. These guys right here are going to be extremely important for us for the spells and the enchantments that we're going to be adding into our weapons. So it's a must for us to have destruction and restoration. However, we're also going to be needing mysticism for a specific spell. But this is not that difficult to level up. It's just going to be level 25, I believe, and that is for Soul Trap. So there's one thing that you need to have in mind. The rest of everything, I like to go with either alchemy or acrobatics because acrobatics is also something that is going to be leveling up on itself and it's going to make us level up that much faster. So that's something very, very good. When it comes to the contextual actions, mercantile, security, speechcraft, we're going to have them thanks to a paladin spell that we'll talk later on. So this is our custom class, and it's going to be named the Paladin because we're going to be paladins. Now that said, which stats am I going to level up first? And like I said, this depends on how is it that you want to start your character. You want to start your character as a mage, then intelligence and willpower. But my advice is that you start your character as a warrior because like I said, I cannot stress enough how important strength is for any character really in Oblivion. Because of the carrying weight capacity. This is going to give you 500 kilos for you to be able to carry stuff. And remember, there's like weapons that weigh like 70 pounds, dude. 70 kilos, which it's just disgusting. You're going to need this. Also, as you level up, a base stat that is very useful to have is endurance because it's going to increase your maximum health, making you that much tankier. And this is something that you need to want to have if you're going to survive as you level up. Then our next focus is going to be intelligence and willpower. The intelligence is going to allow us to cast more damaging spells and also to be able to use higher level tiers of our healing spells and abilities, and then willpower to regenerate our magicka. The secondary stat that we're going to be leveling up after we have made that, it's going to be a concession on your choice, because you can either level up luck to but as you can see right here, this is a level 20 character, so it's not really that high of a level. You do not need to invest that much to get this kind of level of powerful character. But all of my enchantments that I have for my armor, I have them in luck so that I can increase my luck. Remember that 10 points of luck are going to give you 4% bonus to every single stat that is not going to be displayed. So for example, with 10 points more into luck, your spells are going to cost less magicka. And once you reach 100, it's a flat 20% increase. That's like beyond the sight, what you can see. So yeah, but luck and speed are going to be the things that you're going to need as a something extra that you're going to level up. The agility and personality are not going to be important. We're not going to be using ranged weapons, and for personality we're going to be having spells, paladin spells that are going to help us with this. Now, linked in the video description, there is going to be a video, my guide on how do you do enchanting on the Elder Scrolls Oblivion? Because for your weapon, you are going to need enchanting. There's a couple of requirements for you to be able to make the weapon that I have right in here. The maximum you can be, of course, remember that you can be enchanting weapons as you level up, but for you to be able to get this right here, you're going to need 50 points into destruction and 25 points into mysticism to be able to craft this weapon, and also you're going to need the spells. And what we're doing in here is this is also a weapon that is going to be requiring quite a lot of gemstones. So we want to have Soul Trap and Strike, and then Shock, Frost, and Fire damage, 10 points each. 100% of enemy weakness to each element, and then finally at the end for this to stack is going to be 100% into magic damage, which is going to be translating into that much amazing stuff. However, you're going to only get about 25 swings of this thing. That's why we want to have the Soul Trap. But also I advise for you to have a weaker weapon. Like for example, I'm using Children right in here just because I can, but ideally you would be making a weapon that would have like 15 points into frost damage, which I believe is the one that there are not many enemies resistant to that stat on the game. Or even 10 points, and then add the extra 100% frost weakness with the magic weakness. You will going to have a very decent weapon that is not going to kill things that fast, and that is in your best interest because you want to level up the blade skill. As for the spells, remember, link in the video description is the guide on how to make these spells. First, we have Flash of Light. Heal yourself for 15 points. It doesn't cost that much magicka, and this is something that can be spammed mid-combat. And then we have Holy Light that is going to be healing you. You can, depending on the magicka that you have available, either 40 points or 50 points, but this is something that is going to, more often than not, consume quite a whole bunch of your magicka. Remember that this is going to be decreased on your luck and your magicka stat, overall the maximum magicka that you have. But yes, I like to have a very cheap one that I can be spamming, and then the Holy Light, which is going to be my main healing skill or ability. And then we have the Paladin's Charisma. You're going to fortify the Speechcraft on self for 2 seconds, and then fortify Mercantile on self for 2 seconds. This is going to allow you to use Persuasion to convince everyone that you want to, for them to think how you want them to think. A lot of these skills are not going to unlock the secret actual skills that come from leveling the stuff natively, but it's not needed on either Speechcraft nor Mercantile, because having 100 persuasion on any character is going to allow you to bypass any kind of quest barrier that you're going to encounter in the game. The same goes for Mercantile. Once you reach the 100 points into Mercantile with this Paladin's Charisma, it will allow you for you to invest $500 into any kind of store, so that they unlock the secret stuff that they have on the store. And it's also going to allow you to haggle for about 75%, meaning that you're going to get rich at all times. And then we have the Paladin's Craft, which is going to allow you to unlock the security. I don't really use alchemy that much with this character, but this is going to allow you to bypass every single luck that you have on the game. Then again, it's not going to unlock the extra secret little intricacies of security, but what it is going to do is that you're going to be basically able to be opening every single lock that you have on the game thanks to it, without having to invest a single point into security. And one cool thing is that if you actually chose security as a major skill, you're still going to be getting the experience, even though that you have the 100 points from the spell. And then finally, for the actual spell, damaging spell that I like to have as a max, remember that as you level up you can be using smaller things like fire damage and things like that, but this is basically the same thing as I have in my weapon. We have the Divine Smite in here that deals a little bit more damage than my weapon, because this is actually 60 points into each and every single type of damage that you have available, but also adds the weakness to those types of damages, and also weakness to magic magic. So this is somewhat better than our weapon, but it's also cost dependent into magicka, so you can be altering in between your sword and your divine smite, and back and forth and back and forth. Like I said, this is a paladin that can basically do anything that he wants to do in the game. There is no single quest that is going to be locked to you because of persuasion. There is no single item that you're not going to be able to purchase from the secret vendors, the secret stores from the vendors. There is no single lock in the game that you're not going to be able to open. There is no single enemy that is going to be able to resist the mighty, powerful, holy damage that you deal with your enchanted holy weapon and your divine smite. And also you have healing on demand. Like, what is not to like about the paladin? If you like the content, so like and never super appreciate it. Nostalgia today, you gorgeous and beautiful person. You are indeed a gorgeous and beautiful person. Subscribe to the channel, join the Discord. Have a beautiful day and goodbye.